Hi, John Asen, Director of Instruction down here at 3D Golf Performance inside of our simulator bay, and discussing with you today professional impact and really how important it is to understand that you have some leeway, some uniqueness or some style really everywhere in your swing except for impact. Impact needs to be made up of, well, at least three common traits that we'll see in a minute, and how each professional that plays the game arrives at these points. Now, don't be intimidated by the fact that I'm using the word professional. The fact is that that's just the model that we use to describe how you should be trying to hit the ball each time. And these common traits, everybody can do them, simply because you're going to need to use them even when you chip, when you putt, for instance, and when you pitch. So these traits don't include club head speed necessarily. In other words, you don't have to swing as fast as Tiger or myself even, but you should be able to arrive at these consistent patterns through impact. As I said, there is some uniqueness to many even tour players' swings. Pretty much above the waist, we can see some behavior, whether it be radical from a Jim Furyk or slightly more unique with a Sergio Garcia or a Fred Couples. This is a style, that's all it is. It really doesn't matter. The fact is that they're bringing things into line instead of maintaining alignments. They just have to bring things back into line a little bit more. So in essence, they're making it a little bit more challenging. But the fact is that they all ride with a certain set of impact conditions that I want to describe to you today. And the first one I want to talk about is the flat left wrist. And in many of my videos, in my discussions with you, you'll hear me talk a lot about a flat left wrist because it's really one of our essentials in the game of golf. And at the beginning, when we put our hold together, our left hand is going to be in a bent or a cup position here. And this is to create the proper hold and in the left hand here. And when I hit the golf ball, my left wrist is going to be flat. And when I do that, what you will notice is that I happen to create the second essential at impact, and that would be forward shaft lean. So these two elements are really responsible for controlling the shaft and the club face. I'm really trying to make sure that I understand where my club face is when I hit the golf ball, the loft of it. So when we start out, our shaft may be relatively straight, and if I've got a 7-iron here with somewhere around 35 degrees of loft, when I actually have impact conditions with forward shaft lean, I might have 28 degrees of loft. So I might take 7 degrees of loft off the club face when I hit the ball. My club face angle relative to where I'm hitting the ball with a flat left wrist, you can see that the actual club face angle may slightly open when I hit the golf ball. And that means that the leading edge is going to be pointing slightly to the right of where I want the ball to end up. And that's okay because I know that I might have a little bit of curve in a draw spin shot back to my target area or target zone. So flat left wrist, forward shaft lean, and the last thing is going to be my weight has got to be left. So my weight is left. You can see how that accommodates the first two with the flat left wrist and the forward lean. I'm going to have my weight left. And the weight left is really just part of what's happening in my golf swing. As I transition down, I get spine tilt that allows me to swing down and out through the shot in through that impact zone where my weight will be left, and create a downward and outward strike. So a downward and outward strike. So that's what gives me that control over the shaft to allow the club face to turn and release through the shot and give me that nice, repeatable, powerful golf shot. And I show you how that works. So we can see by that ball flight there, it went out to the right, it curved somewhat back, almost hit my line exactly, and I have my two alignments that are key there with a launch angle of 16. And that's really important when we're talking about total distance through the compression of the ball and all these different alignments that are happening. Now I can tell you that I can make that same swing and have forward shaft lean that's backwards, and the ball will go much higher in the air, more of a scooping shot with a lot of spin, and I'll show you the difference in the two spins. That one there was 6,300 to spin, and again, ball speed of 114, and I hit at 168, so a real compressed hit. This one here I'll try to do on purpose where I scoop it. Much higher trajectory, very difficult to get my weight left when I'm scooping. That ball only went 130 yards, had 7,300 RPM of backspin, 21 launch. So my launch, just from those two, went from 13 to 21, so that's 8 degrees more launch on the ball. I only had 95 ball speed for a 130-yard shot. So, I mean, really simply, the common golfer will find it much easier and more efficient to practice these traits, use the drills that we give you, and try to achieve professional impact. Whether it's chipping or pitching, it doesn't matter. You might not swing it as fast as us, but believe me, when you get these traits, you will get the most out of whatever your maximum speed is. So good luck with that, good golfing, and remember, enjoy that hit.